Will the WWE 2K24 Showcase mode let us down? In 2K22, we had Rey Mysterio as the showcase star, and we took on some of Rey's top opponents and we played just as Rey Mysterio. And this also introduced us to 2K's slingshot technology. The slingshot tech that they were showing off was those transitions between the gameplay and the real life match, where they would go from an in-game move and then they would transition seamlessly into the actual match that we saw on TV or at the pay-per-view. Now on paper, this is kind of cool, right? Like being able to go and have that seamless transition, it's kind of a neat idea. But the problem was with 22 introducing this, it felt like they just relied on it too much. The novelty wore off even in 2K22 with this showcase of this technology, because I felt like it didn't add much to the experience. And there's a couple other reasons why Showcase in 22 and 23 were kind of a letdown, and we'll talk about that too. And in 2K23, we had the John Cena showcase, focusing everything on John Cena, but it was with a twist. You played as everyone else, with a few exceptions. You would take on John Cena as all of his big time opponents, from RVD to Undertaker, Triple H, and it was fun because it was a nice twist and refreshing going from 22, where we only played as Rey, to being able to play as other wrestlers in the showcase mode. But once again, they relied on the slingshot technology to piece together all of the cutscenes and all of the key moments. They also relied on the interview style documentary thing, where we had the voiceover narration of Rey and John Cena telling you their thoughts about the match and what it meant to them and going up against different opponents. But for me, this was never a highlight of the 2K games, this specific iteration of Showcase, because while I think the idea is interesting, I feel like it kind of puts 2K in a bit of a hard place, and this is what we could see when it comes to 2K24. And what about 2K24? We can take guesses at who the showcase star could be. We could see Randy Orton, Triple H, Undertaker, HBK, just to name a few, or the real showcase star we all need.
Tozawa! That's nasty!
With 22 giving us more traditional experience of play as some of Rey's biggest matches, have the interview spots with Rey and some of the real match moments, and 23 doing the opposite. Did 2K24 put themselves in a hard spot? I not only wonder who the showcase star could be, but I more so think, how could they make the mode interesting? Both 2K22 and 23 showcases didn't interest me that much because of how it's presented. I wanted to skip the superstar intro commentary spots. The slingshot moments were fine, but there's no commentary. Generic background music plays, and so my engagement with these huge moments really felt flat. And with commentary just being absent for all of this, this is a huge piece of all of it that really takes me out of the moment. So much of WWE's biggest moments are not only what is happening in the ring, but the commentary team selling it to you, selling those big moments, putting over giant moments of Rey Mysterio and John Cena, or Undertaker and The Streak, or Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. The lack of commentary was one of the biggest pieces in the last two games that really felt like it took away from the experience. And maybe it's just me, but I was constantly pausing the game too during matches to see what the next move was supposed to be, which is just destroying any immersion that I had. Having to hit pause to be able to go and see in the menu what the next objective, what the next move sequence is that I need to pull off to get to the next thing, it's the start and stop of it all that really just destroyed all of it. I can never get into a full match because I'm constantly pausing. So I worry that even if I get my dream Triple H showcase mode, covering his time as Hunter Hearst Helmsley DX to the matches with The Rock, his MSG return after his injury, the HBK SummerSlam match, Evolution, and everything beyond. If it's all the same as like 22 and 23, will it be a letdown? But what if we're looking at this the wrong way? What if they do something slightly different? The last 2 years, while the core experience has been the same with the interviews and the slingshot tech, what if they go down the path of highlighting multiple stars or factions? Almost like a hybrid of Road to WrestleMania and Showcase. Smaller stories focusing on different tag teams or factions, like a Bloodline story covering the inception all the way to WrestleMania 39, the big matches of Roman versus Sammy, Bloodline Warfare, Drew versus Roman, and so much more. They could do a whole chapter on D-Generation X. They just had the 25th anniversary, so they could focus on HBK and Triple H in that regard. I'd love for them to cover all of DX, but Billy Gunn is in AEW, so that's not happening. But they could highlight some key moments between even just Shawn, Triple H, China, the 1v1 match at SummerSlam, and then the reunion. They could go more modern and do a Judgment Day showcase, minus Edge of course, and cover like the past year of the Judgment Day, singles matches of Damian Priest or Dominic Mysterio coming in. These are just examples of what they could do as an alternative. And I'm sure you have other favorites you want to see covered, but some scenarios might not work due to Legends contracts or who's not with WWE anymore. And that's what also worries me about 2K24's showcase, assuming that it is in there, is that it becomes this straightforward storytelling of here's 13 matches that you do of Randy Orton taking on some big opponents like John Cena and Triple H and others, and then you have a bonus match and you unlock some stuff, and that's the end. What made previous year's showcases or the road to WrestleMania was going to be the variety of stories, the focus on different eras in wrestling, but also the details. One thing I miss so much from the previous showcases is the real match commentary.
Oh, look at this, JR. It's a stunner on The Undertaker. Oh, man.
For me, I don't need the slingshot footage to the actual match. I've seen it. But I love hitting the prompt and watching her playing out a moment between Austin and McMahon, or hearing the real commentary and the game capturing the full experience. It gives you that nostalgia feeling, but also keeps you immersed into the game that you're playing and you're experiencing. And if 2K wants to keep the element of the matches alive, great. Just give us an archive option, like we've seen for the videos in the past, highlighting the matches, and if we want to check those out, we can. But another issue we could see from 2K24 Showcase is unlockables, for a few reasons. I've always enjoyed the aspect of going through a career mode, a showcase mode, and unlocking legends, arenas, Alta tires, and even the championship belts. It's a reason to play through it, but it's starting to feel a little too samey. Over the years, we've unlocked the same belts over and over, arenas, and lately, it's been 10 different versions of the same wrestler taking up roster slots. Sorry, Ray. I don't need 10 Rey Mysterios. I don't need every year of John Cena. But isn't there another big problem I'm missing? Yeah, unlockables can't be unlocked fully in the game. So when you buy the deluxe edition or the icon edition of the game, you're paying for this little tiny unlock boost that allows you to unlock what is supposed to be everything in the game. But it doesn't do that. One of the frustrating pieces with this is that the accelerator that it used to be called, it used to unlock everything. Now it only unlocks some of the legends and belts and some of the main stuff you can unlock by playing the game, but it doesn't unlock anything in My Rise and it doesn't unlock anything in Showcase. And this is a real problem to me. Why? Because not everybody wants to go in and play the showcase mode. What's good about the 2K games is the variety you get. It's not just exhibition matches. You have My Rise, Showcase, Universe, My GM. You got a lot to be able to play. Good and bad. But not everybody wants to jump into Showcase and grind through that experience to get the unlockables, especially when they're paying for it through an accelerator. We need this changed in 2K24. Give players that option to get it all on day one because they paid for it. I may not want to go through Showcase right away. I might save it for never. I might want to do it in a month after the game is released. But I want all of the championship belts, the arenas, all of it to be able to enjoy my universe mode or GM or anything else in the game. Creating interesting achievements and unlockables in a showcase mode, I'm sure is difficult because how creative can we be? I'm fine with legends being unlocked. I'm fine with some of the retro titles too. I think way more variety of arenas being unlocked is necessary. And I think that the arena list that we typically get for the last couple of games is very, very small, especially on like the retro side. We need way more arenas and shows to be able to unlock. But 2K can make it way more interesting by letting us earn WWE Shop cash, virtual currency. For example, by completing showcase matches on different difficulty. Use that cash to purchase in-game cosmetics, attire parts, heck, maybe even have it so we can unlock new arena venues. Not even retro shows, just different designs to be able to utilize later offline. Be able to put them up in community creations. It's not a paywall, it's kind of akin to Fight Forever where they have their shop, actually what we had back in the days of like Here Comes the Pain, being able to use the WWE Shop cash, save all of that up to be able to unlock things that I want. when I want. Also, if you're doing it based off of difficulty to give you different unlockables, it creates a little bit of replayability for some people. Some want to be able to go through easy mode and just grind through the showcase real quick, get those unlockables and move on. While others, you can put it on legend difficulty, earn way more cash so you can unlock even more stuff within the shop. It's more incentive for players to come back and to keep playing the mode, and maybe even having a longer experience or more of a challenge playing through it. You need something to be able to change up the formula for the unlockables. If 2K really wanted to be crazy with the My Faction stuff, because we know they love it, let us complete a showcase match, get our unlockables, and give us My Faction card rewards too. That could be an incentive for players to go through the matches and showcase to get these card rewards plus their in-game unlockables, and then being able to go into the My Faction mode and shop, open up the packs, see what you got, and collect more cards. Or not. And people don't want to do it at all. But we know that My Faction is realistically not going away, and it's going to be integrated even more. And if it were me, I would try to do something harmless like putting card rewards in the offline modes like Universe, GM, and Showcase as just bonuses. It might incentivize players to go into My Faction mode to grind through more of the matches that they have, more of the towers to get more cards, and then you have them into that system. And then it'd be kind of cool to be able to get cards unlocked by playing through showcase mode to see what I get if I get a John Cena or Randy Orton card by just completing these matches on top of my unlockables like arenas and getting the different wrestlers, the legends, the different championship belts. I'm then building out all my digital cards that I have that I've collected. It's just one more incentive and it's kind of a nice perk. But I wonder how showcase mode will turn out next year, and if it'll be a vast departure from the last 2 years, or if it's just going to be more of the same. But what do you think? I think we can agree that some of the features need to be addressed, but in next year's game, we might actually see some features get removed. So click on this video to find out what features might get removed in 2K24. See ya.